The stories out of newspapers this morning. My name is Kenny Durutilo. I have with me the Punch newspaper, the Guardian newspaper, the Daily Post, the Punch newspaper, and the Nation newspaper. Alright, we'll begin with the Punch newspaper this morning. Federal government begins Asu Villa renovation ahead of Tinubu's inauguration. Elsewhere, you find this one. I would have funded my children's education with money, ritual, cash. Suspect, I believe that's on the Metro Plus pages of the Punch newspaper. While my daughter returned to school where she was poisoned. Ronke Ushudioke. Elsewhere, how my nephew killed his father, hidden by mother, uncle. Some stories from the Metro Plus pages. Elsewhere in politics, I won't renounce citizenship again despite Tinubu's victory. Lagos ex-deputy governor. That's an interview conducted by the Punch. Reason for that, I might want to grab a copy of the Punch newspaper this morning to find out. Elsewhere, menacing after death, Buhari leads governors in plea for forgiveness. Elsewhere, again from the Punch, Ohaneze carpets federal government as UK jails Ekweremadu wife. Alright, talking business now. Corporate treasurers urge federal government to address forex scarcity. Federal government to begin 22.7 trillion naira loan repayment in 2026. That's coming from the DMO. And UPRC plans fast licensing for indigenous oil farms. All right, moving over to the Guardian newspaper. How Ekweremadu wife landed in jail is the major piece that you find from the Guardian newspaper this morning. From the Premium Times newspaper, no reprieve for pension thief Mena as appeal court upholds 8 years jail time. No reprieve for pension thief Mena as appeal court upholds 8-year jail term. Elsewhere, Pretoria once again on the horns of an ICC dilemma. Nigerian politician Ike Ekweremadu wife jailed in UK for organ trafficking. APC governors endorse Akpabio for Senate President Ganduje. At least 20 properties in the UK linked to Nigeria's president-elect and his associates. At least 20 properties in the UK linked to Nigeria's president-elect and his associates. NDDC seeks approval of reps for spent budgets of 2022. Nigerian Anthropologists Association elect new leaders. There's another headline there. Second batch of Nigerian evacuees from Sudan arrive Abuja. Ex-Jigawa APC chairman jailed over alleged falsehood against governor. Nigerian government inaugurates media team on food and nutrition. At least 20 properties already took that one. NDDC seeks approval. Also took that one already. You want to grab a copy of the Premium Times newspaper for those stories and more. Alright, from the Nation newspaper, Ekweriemadu's daughter breaks silence after parent sentencing is the major story. Sudan crisis, Egypt refuses 700 stranded Nigerians passage. Also, appeal court upholds Mena's 8-year sentence is another headline from the Nation newspaper this morning. Moving over to the Nigerian Tribune. Rivers visit, you lack moral right to speak against corruption. PDP hits Tinubu. Adamo Aguba, suspended rec, granted bail. Movement restricted to FCT. UK slams 10-year jail term on Ekweremadu over organ harvesting plot. ABC will teach Wike big lesson soon, Primate Ayodele says. Also, we've learned lessons from 2023 polls. That's coming from Mr. President there. Alright, from the Daily Trust newspaper, you find this one, Magnus Abbey, how Tinubu was stoned in rivers. This will be my last official engagement. Buhari bids farewell to King Charles. Organ harvesting, Ekwerimadu wife jailed in UK. Can fireman Sam save Everton? That's talking sports now. That's the new manager there. Jos residents lament 30 years of water scarcity. Police arrest paramount ruler. 6 others over communal crisis. Hajj. Jigawa remits 4 billion naira to NACO. Alright, more headlines. PDP has given Nigeria first albino governor. NAS FRC should set debt limit, not DMO. Experts. I'll choose Olubadan stool over Nigeria's presidency. That's according to a certain APC senator. You also find this one. Invisible insurance stake, unbeaten run against 3SC. That's on the sports side of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. NEDC board. Buhari writes Senate for confirmation of 12 nominees. Suspended Adama Warek granted bail after 3 days in custody. That's the still one there. And lastly, from the Daily Trust newspaper, only God knows party I will transmit power to. That's coming from Governor Ganduje. Alright, we'll take more headlines from the Vanguard newspaper. How Buhari spent 8 trillion naira on non-existent petrol subsidies. It's a piece there that you might want to take a look at. New Lagos immigration boss injects life into services. How babies suck their bottles could predict future obesity risk. That's according to a study coming out of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Why smartphones, computers should be banned for children under 6 years old. Nasal spray that treats erectile dysfunction in 5 minutes, due in 2025. A new test detects cancer a year before tumors grow. Kwara Northerner insists on filing vacant RMAFC position. Intra-party feud. Ambassador Ajadi sues for peace in NNPP Ogun. The other one here, Anita Joseph and a new calling. You might be interested in that one. I believe it's entertainment. I haven't dumped my acting career, Ijoma Imo says. This one says, Beacon of Better Nigeria, Atiku Jonathan pay tribute to late Yaradua. NCIA tasks UN, AU to restore peace order to Sudan. Only God knows party I'll hand over power to. Ganduje says that. Ready to go. Most fearsome of my abductors handed me 5,000 naira to return home. Oj says Sudan war, second batch of 130 evacuees arrive. Nigeria. Some of the headlines coming up newspapers this morning. Alright, it's time to delve into the analysis this morning, and Austin Adubu is here with me in the studio this morning. Good morning, Austin.
Good morning, Kenny.
How you doing? It's great to have you.
Thank you for having me, and it's good to be here.
All right. Okay, so we'll delve into some of the issues, and atop most of those has to do with the ruling from the UK yesterday over Ikure. We understand that he got 9 months and 9 years rather and 8 months of a sentence. The doctor involved in that particular case got 10 years. His wife got like 6 months thereabout. 6 years rather.
4 years plus.
4 years plus. Okay, 4 years plus, and all of that. Your reactions to that particular judgment. First of all, before we get into the reactions from the papers this morning.
Yes, it's quite sad that an end has finally come to the Ekweremadu organ harvesting case. Of course, if you look at the United Kingdom's Modern Slavery Act, we actually saw it coming that most likely the couple will be jailed, and this was what came at the end of the day.
Right.
They set a date, and that day didn't miss. And if you also look at the circumstance surrounding all of this issue, you discover that institutions, even agencies, government institutions in Nigeria, prominent individuals have also decided to appeal to the authorities of the United Kingdom. Not for the fact that Ekweremadu was not guilty as charged, but for clemency, so as to be able to lessen the sentence. But in all of these entreaties, I doubt if they actually worked, because according to that law, what he should get should be like 10 years in prison. Now, 9 years plus 8 months is approximately
10 years.
Still 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
So this is a deterrent to any individual that nobody is above the law, no matter how politically exposed you think you are. This is just a mere contravention of a case. I call it a mere contravention of an extant law in the United Kingdom because of the circumstances surrounding it. If Ekweremadu has had an issue, realized that this particular issue could send him to jail, he would have dabbled into it.
Right.
He wanted to make sure that his daughter is safe at all costs. He could also do all of this by proxy, you understand that, but he was personally involved because of perhaps the love he has for the family and that daughter in particular. You know, one of the things that we have stopped talking about is the health status of that particular daughter of his, who out of all of this happened to him. That daughter spoke yesterday, Sonia, that he regretted, that he felt sorry because he brought this upon the parent. A lot of us do not really understand what it means for both parents to be behind bar. So it's quite sad for the Ekweremadu family. The only option I think that can be explored is a kind of state pardon by they call it royal pardon, because
UK government.
Yes,
because there's another report where I believe it was Reno Mokri saying that President Buhari, asking President Buhari to actually put in a word for him during their meeting, supposed meeting with the
yes. First of all, we must admit the fact that the Nigerian government tried all it could do, but because it borders on criminal case, there is little or nothing the government can do. When he was first of all arrested, the Nigerian Senate sent a delegation. The federal government made a representation. Even lately, I think during this week, agencies and institutions of the government also lend their voices to making sure that he gets a lenient sentence. But all of that couldn't come to play. Well, let's see if President Muhammadu Buhari could be able to annex that. Not as if he was not guilty, but a lot of people saw him as a victim of circumstances. You understand?
How so?
Fine. Law was contravened. You understand?
Right.
There were some level of desperation on the part of the Ekweremadu family at some point. But a lot of external forces also contributed to the whole saga. Look at the guy in question, the 22-year-old guy. He's now saying that all he wants to do now is to work in the United Kingdom, that he does not want to come to Nigeria for fear of his life. You know, plus or minus, this is Nigeria, anything can happen. But the truth of the matter is that some people also intervene to push the guy to leak out this particular story, because it all boils down to him. At some point too, the Ekweremadu want to come up with the Nigerian syndrome, use and dump. So at that particular point in time, the guy realized, he spoke to third parties and they instigated him. That is the genesis of the whole saga.
Right.
You understand? Because according to him, he said he was not aware. Now when he was asked to return back to Nigeria, that was when the issue started. If the Ekweremadus have known, they would have looked for a way to also provide succor for him in terms of paying him off or settling him with some kind of money or any other thing. That would have been far better than what is currently befalling the Ekweremadus family. So that's just it. Let's see how the president can look into that. But I doubt, sincerely, since the sentence has been made, I doubt if the president can intervene and King Charles will have to do something about it, because majorly it borders on criminal prosecution.
It does look like a slap on the wrist, because some people have projected that he would get life sentence from 10 to life. So it does look like he was let off easy in all of this. Don't you think so?
No, I don't really think so. Like I said, if you look at the law, maybe 10, 20, it's not really possible, or it's really rare for him to get a life sentence, because the provisions of that modern slavery act is clear. You understand?
Okay.
We are just looking at it that, because the UK is involved, they do thorough investigation. Once they put you on trial, you are most likely going to jail. That is why some of us believe that Ekweremadu cannot be left off the hook. But somehow, maybe the appeals here and there, I think ECOWAS Parliament also pleaded on his behalf. Now he has gotten close to 10 years in prison. That is still a sad one for him. But on the other hand, it's still better than 20 years. It's still better also than the contemplation of a life imprisonment, which personally I didn't even see that coming, that in the offing in all of this proceeding. So like I said, this is a clarion call. We have to draw a kind of learning point from all of this. You can't do everything and think you can get away with them. You understand?
Right.
Thank God UK is not Nigeria. If it were to be Nigeria, a lot of all of this must have happened in the past, but particularly swept under the carpet because of the type of people that are involved. So we must learn our lesson, and when there are transactions like that, we should learn to also make good for the other party, make excuses for the other party. You might not be able to return that person back to his original position, right, but you can get the person close to his or her original position. If Ekweremadu family have opted for this by negotiation, this particular transaction has been casted, what is in it for you? We don't want you to just go empty-handed. We can support you with this. We can come up with this, because this particular guy was instigated to know that this is the United Kingdom. If you raise the alarm, he will not get away with it.
Right. Because it doesn't look like he's innocent. He's not exactly innocent.
Of course, it's not purely innocent like we think.
But at the same time,
but because the daughter aided and abetted the whole process, that was why the daughter too was also sentenced. You understand? So he is more or less like a victim in all of these circumstances. That was why he was left off the hook.
Do you think there's some legitimacy to his alarm, the alarm he's raising now? Because the Ekweremadus are quite powerful individuals, and like I said, he's not exactly innocent, but his life might just be at risk, don't you?
Yes, if you look at it, he has come out to raise an alarm. Like I said earlier, anything can happen. I don't advise him to come to Nigeria. If he can get to stay in the United Kingdom, he will start work, he will do his work and continue his life. But the unfortunate actually has happened.
All right. Do you believe there's any substance to the Ohanese coming out to say that the federal government should have helped him? They are berating the federal government for not helping Ekweremadu in all of this.
I think we should not politicize this. We should not also try to be too sentimental as far as all of this is concerned. We should at the same time not allow pettiness to take the place of logic and reasoning. the federal government had an issue, was willing to help in this case. When I mean the federal government, I mean the federal government, both the executive and the legislative arm of government, as far as this case is concerned. Once it's a criminal trial, there is little or nothing external forces can do, as particularly as it concerns the United Kingdom. The federal government sent the delegation at the initial. The Nigerian Senate made a representation to see whether intervention could be made on his behalf. A lot of interventions here and there. So the idea of casting aspersion on the federal government, that there is nothing the federal government of Nigeria can do to let him off the hook. We must establish that it's a criminal case and it is not Nigeria. It is in the United Kingdom. Nobody will collect bribe from you. That one is sure. If it were to be Nigeria, Ekuremadu does not need the federal government to get out of this mess. I don't know whether you are getting that.
Yes,
what the federal government could have done, which they also did at some point, was a kind of intervention, like what Olusegun Obasanjo did, like what the Nigerian Senate did, like what the House of Representatives did, like what the ECOWAS Parliament did, by begging for clemency, kind of leniency in the judgment. Do you know what that means? If it is 20, please, can you give 5? If it is 20, can you please give 10? That is the highest they can do. The next option that I feel Ohanaeze can push for, or every other individual in Nigeria that have tried and they couldn't succeed, is to see if the royal pardon is anything that can work. But as it is now, there is no business trying to shift the goalposts any longer. Another issue I also expect Ohanaeze to raise is that this case, even in the United Kingdom, I learned it's a bailable offense. Why was he not granted bail? You know, the period he was arrested also coincided in the UK, also coincided with the period EFCC had the case with him in Nigeria. Yeah. You understand? I don't know whether you are getting that. EFCC had the case with him. They said he has several property that they need to confiscate, that they need to seize. So it coincided. So the UK authority might look at it that, oh, if we can't grant this fellow bail, this person probably is a serial criminal or somebody whose hands are not clean or pure at some point. You understand the point? So the only option that is remaining now is to look at the area of royal pardon, if that can work. If that cannot work, I think it's just unfortunate that this has happened to the Ekuremadu's family. And my heart goes to them because life is involved, health is involved.
All right, one of the headlines of the papers this morning says federal government begins Aso Villa renovation ahead of Tinubu's inauguration. The spokesman of the president, one of the spokesmen of the president, Garba Shehu, took to Twitter yesterday to post a photo of a man who was seen painting the external wall on the villa with white and green paints. He noted that the painting was being done to welcome the incoming president.
Yes, this is it's just customary and traditional.
Pretty standard, huh?
You understand that when an incoming administration, when an administration is coming, all of this will be done. This is also taxpayers' money, and a lot of people will also query at what cost. Right. So I don't think this is a cherry news. I don't think this is a kind of news that people like Gambasho should bother themselves about. Their own government is winding up. By now, they should be telling us for the period under review, we have been able to achieve so and so successes. And that success may not just be theory. Right. It may not just be what we call the songs of praise, personal songs of praise. It may not just be, trying to brandish achievement. It should be a kind of achievement that commensurates with the living condition, with the living standard of the people. Now, Garba Shehu has told us that Aso Rock is being renovated because Tinubu wants to be sworn in. What is the economic value of that story? How does that story impact an average Nigerian? That is what is being done. Anytime Nigerians have election and a new government is coming in, that is what they do. Right. Of course, they have to put the place in order for the new person to come in. So for me, I think they should dwell more on they are trying to major in minor issues. They should dwell more on achievement. What have they been able to do? Because this achievement does not reflect on the lives and standard of living of the people.
Another headline: I won't renounce citizenship again despite Tinubu's victory. Lagos ex-deputy governor. Surprised by that one?
Yes, I'm not surprised. I know this will come. I'm also waiting for Shifola Bode George to also come up to. He said he will leave Nigeria when Tinubu becomes president.
Right.
At some point, I think before 2019 or after 2019, he said if Tinubu contests, he too will contest. But that didn't work for him. Now Tinubu has been declared winner of that particular election. Is the president-elect. He will be sworn in a matter of days. Now we have another deputy governor in Lagos who said that former deputy governor, that if Tinubu win election, she will renounce her citizenship, she will jet out of the country and all of this. See, some of these things you look at it from an objective point of view.
No.
Some of these individuals who have made such comments in the past, they are not actually coming from an objective point of view. Perhaps you had the issue with him at one time or the other, and you feel that over your dead body that person cannot become president. No, if you have your superior argument, bring it to the table. Why do you think this person cannot become president, or why do you think this person cannot become governor? It should go beyond personal beef, personal issue, because we had issue, and I feel Kenny can never become anything. It doesn't really work that way. You understand? That was why in 2007 Obasanjo told us that Atiku is the devil itself.
Right.
Now in 2019, the same Obasanjo came out and said this is an economy messiah Nigeria needed. If you knew that, why don't you pick him in 2007? By now we will have been in our Dubai. I don't know whether you are getting my point.
Right.
So these are just mere political statements. So this is not a statement to be taken seriously as far as I'm concerned.
It'd be nice to see politicians who are men or women, if you like, of their word. It's pretty hard. I think politicians, they hold that that power or that appeal to people. Now, if someone says something and you hold that person in high esteem and they don't live up to what they say, that that should tell you a lot of things about those people, what they'll do when they're in power, and what have you.
They don't really care. As far as average Nigerian politician is concerned, they don't really care. A lot of people said so much about Buhari too in 2015 that if he gets into power, the likes of the late Kashamu from Ogun State, yeah, and a lot of people predicted that if this man should win, they will leave the country, and all of that eventually didn't happen. So that is just the characteristic of an average Nigerian politician. They say something, they eat up their word, because their political participation is not particularly based on political ideology. And if that is working, they go back and forth. They will even tell you, they will even come back to defend their latest position. This particular former deputy governor will come and defend this position again. And I said it the other time. Now I've renounced that particular situation again. We must realize that in a contest, especially political contest for that matter, anybody can win. That's just it. 2023 general election, I just suggested that anybody can win election in Nigeria. We are hoping that the situation becomes better in the next round of elections, where INEC failed to live up to expectation, especially in the area of electronic transmission of results for the presidential election. They should work on that and ensure that in the next round of election we will have an outcome that is similarly credible, that is overwhelmingly acceptable by majority of the people.
This report here from the Premium Times says at least 20 properties in the UK are linked to Nigeria's president-elect and his associates. Comes with the rider, if you like. Owning a home via an offshore company has seldom made much sense except for securing secrecy. Your first thoughts on that, Austin? What do you make of that?
Yes, it's about secrecy. What these big guys do is to make money from the system, take it abroad, hide it in an offshore company to evade tax. Is nothing more than act of corruption, because if your income, if your earnings are legitimate, there is no point go into a tax haven. I don't know whether you get the point I'm making.
Right.
I think this allegation on our president-elect is becoming one too many. It's becoming one too many. By the day, there have been a lot of moral baggage hanging on the neck of Mr. President. If it is not the son, it will be people very close to him.
Associates, yeah.
You understand? It will be his associate. All of this cannot stop him from becoming the president. But we are only saying that there are a lot of baggages. 20 properties linked to you in the UK alone. Where does that stand? Which means we are most likely going to have a president that people will look at even before getting to power, that this individual is even more corrupt than some other individual, either personally or by proxy. It's not only the one involved here, maybe because he's the president-elect, that is why a lot of reports, a lot of news is coming up on him.
Right.
We have a lot of Nigerian politicians and businessmen who have cheated the system, sabotaged the system, take their money offshore, put them in tax haven. You understand?
Right.
It's not supposed to be so, because when you have a secret account, you are trying to hide something. If you are clear, you are clean, no skeleton in your cupboard, you come out in the open. This idea of buying properties by proxy, I just told you earlier, it was one of the cases, one of the issues that compounded the Ekweremadu cases. You know what that means?
Right.
For somebody to be locked up overseas and the person is also, he has a case in court of property or asset forfeiture here. If you are the judge or you are that country, what will you do? So that's the bad depression that got him into that particular, that messed up the case for him.
Is it a wish, or is it the pie in the sky if we see a situation where president-elect comes in and swiftly does his declaration of assets? What would be your reaction to that as soon as possible? I don't know what the timeline of that is,
Yes.
but we maybe see one of the fastest declaration of assets we've ever seen in this government.
Let's see how that goes. But a lot of people will want to expect and see what a Tinubu asset will look,
Declaration.
yes, will look like. But the truth of the matter is that some of these big guys within our system, they operate some of these things by proxy. I don't know whether you understand
Right.
what that means. You know, that is why you saw the properties that were just listed now by his associate. If you look at those 20 assets, 20 property, not a single one may even be directly linked to him. Maybe from associate, my son, my brothers,
Right.
my former commissioner, my former aide, and what have you. So we want to see political office holder, the president, the vice president, all those that have been voted into office, public servants in Nigeria, declaring their asset, making it open, making it public. Don't tell us that you forgot to declare one house somewhere. You know, that was what got former CJN Ononge into trouble.
Yeah.
How can you say that you forgot to declare a duplex? You understand? Not a mud house in your village, a choice house in a choice location in a choice city. You understand? So let the president do the needful, declare your asset, let the asset be scrutinized, not anticipatory. Because what politicians do to cheat the system is to do what we call anticipatory asset declaration. That was what nearly got Saraki into trouble. You understand?
Right.
You have 1 billion, for example, cash and assets. Then I win governorship election. I know I will be sworn in. I will now declare my asset to the tune of 10 billion. With that calculation, I have projected that within the next 4 years, I'm going to steal about 9 billion extra for my state. So the point really is that at the point of declaration of assets, let those assets be properly investigated. And after being investigated, when you are also about to leave office, redeclare your asset again.
Right.
In short, my own view is that public office holder, as you are leaving office, let EFCC investigate you, give you a clean bill of health, the one you call vote of confidence.
Right.
But the idea of people just walk into office and simply walk away out of office. That will continue to create tension within the system, and there's no element of transparency in administration as far as that is concerned.
All right, we'll open the phone lines in a moment, but before we do that, I'd like to get Austin's thoughts on the appeal court upholding Maina's 8-year sentence. Of course, that one for the 2.1 billion naira fraud.
That can be described as good riddance to bad rubbish. It's a welcome development.
All right.
Maybe we'll go to the Supreme Court. Let's see how it go. People must be punished for offenses that they have committed, infraction that they have committed within the system. I hope the Supreme Court will not set us back on this. And the president also bastardized this by setting free corrupt criminals, corrupt public office holders that have been convicted. I don't know whether you are getting that.
Yeah.
That have been convicted. You know, I just told you on the case of Ekweremadu that he has been convicted by the UK law. To get a royal pardon, that will be pretty difficult, but it can be pushed forward.
Right. 0705 5949, 0809 7949. Those are the numbers to be a part of the conversation this morning. You can also go on Facebook. That's 32FM 949. Ibadan. Share your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning,
I'm
sir.
Johnny Joko.
All right.
Thank you, Austin. You see, it is funny that Ohanese indeed they could be blaming the federal government over Ekweremadu to travel. Was it the federal government that pushed him or aided him to commit the crime against modern slavery law? The day he was found guilty was the day the judgment came. They were only waiting for yesterday to make everything known. And that is the allegation from EFCC has anything to do with the case involving Ekweremadu in the United Kingdom. Ilẹ̀kẹ̀ májàsílẹ̀ jásígbó ìdìkan náà ni ó dá sí kọ́gùn ó ti kọ́gùn síbì kan. In 1984, let me tell you, our health services was described as mere conducting clinic. From that time to now, 40 years, what is the position? If not, we wouldn't have been going outside the country to seek for medical attention for the daughter. I'm John Njoku, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. 0705 5949, 0809 7949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. All right.
Well, thanks to Austin and to my brother John Joku for that good talk. You see, it is sad on Ekweremadu. But I think Ekweremadu did not plan it well. As a lawyer, he should have done everything possible to make sure that he did not run foul of the law, which he didn't do. Because in Nigeria, big men didn't take very well. They just believe they have it all. And besides that, they should have done something on our earth status for him to have a good land, even here. But they didn't do that. But finally, my concern is many people are blaming Ekweremadu. Ekwuremadu's case is even better because we didn't know that he have any criminal record before. But we people that are blaming, we are the one even voting criminal-minded people into offices. So after, when there is problem, we now be blaming them. We know some of them, most of the governor, even the president, we vote for criminal-minded people. We know their story. So that should change. Good morning.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Ken, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Austin, for the beautiful explanation this morning.
Yeah.
I was
Please, before you go ahead, your name, please.
Please let me remain anonymous.
All right, go ahead.
Yesterday, I saw the video clip of that Sonia, and I heard what she said. I felt so much for her. But on the other side, I saw the comments of the average Nigerian. In fact, it's not a good thing at all. What I'm trying to just say is, law has taken its course. Yes, if it were to be an average Nigerian, who would go there to plead for an average Nigerian? Please, for my own thought, let him face the wrath of what he has done. God bless us.
All right, thank you very much. 0705 500949 0809 7909. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
My name is Jan.
All right, please can you turn down the volume on your radio? We're getting feedback.
I'll do that. I think Austin didn't listen to the judge that sentenced Ikirumadu. I heard the judge saying to Ikirumadu that he's of good behavior. He gave him all the accolades that he needed. The sentence has nothing to do with EFCC case hanging on Ikirumadu. That's number one. Then number two, the allegation concerning Tinubu and his son about the properties in London, I think Austin needed to ask the source of that information, because there are some information that are coming from Sahara reporters every time that are unfounded, that believed to be untrue at the end of the day. So it's just an allegation, and you don't just base on any baseless allegation. This is my take this morning. Good morning.
All right, thank you very much for that one. Another message here. We'll take some messages from Facebook. 0705 500949 is the number. Take another call. Hello.
Yeah, Kenny, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Yeah.
This is okay. Mina, like you said, I know he will go to the Supreme Court, and I pray the Supreme Court will not take us back. He actually got what he deserves. And I could imagine, for God's sake, the law has taken its course. Yes, the law works, has actually worked. Much as we all sympathize with him and the daughter, but I think being a lawyer first, he should have known what he got himself in. So, Ohani saying he will coming in now to appeal and all those. I don't know what to, but what I just feel is the law has taken its course. So, and if you don't do the crime, then don't be ready to do the time. Good morning.
All right, thank you very much. You can drop your comments on Facebook once again. That's 32FM949 Ibadan. Let's take some reactions from Facebook now. I have this one here from Omotayo Oluwarutimi Bamiro on Bamiro. He says, erectile dysfunction and cancer are very serious conditions. In the case of erectile dysfunction, okay, it's the cause of the breakup of most marriages through the partners, though the partners give other reasons for the breakup. The new nasal spray. All right, I'm not sure where this is going exactly. Okay, it goes on to say in another message, Britain is not a country like Nigeria where the law does not work. That's why you can see people as high up like Ikirima to go to jail. We shouldn't expect any royal pardon from the British. Okay, thank you very much for that one. 0705 500949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Yes.
Hello. Yeah, my name is Adeshi from UI.
All right.
In as much as I pity the lawmaker, Ikorimado, but it's a good one. My brother, when my own most respected Obasanjo was trying to plead on his behalf, I just laughed at him. I said, Baba, we should not go and destroy that country. They will not listen to us. They know us very, very well. My brother, I want to ask you a question now. What is the update on the murder of Timothy Adegoke in Osun State? What is the latest? If you are in Nigeria now, he's going to win because his party supporters will buy Ashwebi, they will call a party, and they will give him a round welcome. I don't know, maybe the next 200 years we're going to get there. But me, I'm very hopeful that it may not be in our own generation now, but in the future, we might still get there. Let him remain there, God see him through. That's all the best of today.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right. I lost that one. 0705 500949 0809 7949. On Facebook, Rajia Fizabiola says, good morning. About the Ikurimadu judgment, honestly, it's not shock one a shocking one, as everyone saw it coming. I think the situation will pass the signal to the other powerful people that nobody is above the law, most especially God's judgment. If they escape the man's judgment, they wouldn't escape God's judgment. The Nigerian politicians need to change their ways if they don't want this kind of judgment from God. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Sabi. I'm calling from Monia.
All right, let's hear you.
You see, yes, you see this issue. Nigeria is a country without consequence. And if it has happened here by now, it will be celebrated in the streets of Nigeria. But thank goodness it has been done through this way. It's a signal to all those people at the helm of affairs in this country that the justice that is being denied in Nigeria, elsewhere, they cannot go scot-free without facing punishment. Many of them, they go there in that time there in America, in the hotels, they mess up themselves with their girls. Some will go to the DC and slap women, and nothing is being done. But this is a lesson to all the senators or whoever is in that helm of affairs that they should be careful. Nigeria, other countries is not like Nigeria, where there is no law, where there is no consequence. Have a nice day.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Presenter.
Good morning.
My comment is about what GP said concerning our Nigerian politicians. They come out, I think that they are the first people to be blamed. Even Nigerian politicians will steal money from there or whatever. They are still taking their economy. After they are these tired, they will not talk everything could be spent. That's the problem of it. So I believe that if they are trying to do justice to us, even if it is money from any country, and bring it to them, you're supposed to harass them and arrest them and let them know how it is.
All right, 0705 5949, 0809 7949. Honorable Akikumi Camille says that it's so sad the law caught up with Ekweremadu, but Ekweremadu didn't treat the deal with the boy very well. If he treated the deal very well, it wouldn't get to the stage. I wish his daughter gets another donor. Ekweremadu is enjoying the other side of bad leadership in Nigeria. He's among them. All right. Hello, good morning. 0705 5949, 0809 7949. Those are the numbers. Back to Facebook. Catering on Babatunde. Our leaders are interested in developing other countries at the expense of Nigeria. They make money here and take it to other countries. Congratulations to Ekweremadu for getting just 9 years instead of life imprisonment. It's a plus for the judiciary in UK, because if it is to be in Nigeria, we'll all know he'll go scot-free. Remember Ibori's case. Okay. You can send your messages to Facebook as well. 32FM949 Ibadan is the place to send your messages to on Facebook. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
My name is Benga Mario, calling from Apata. I count as a privilege to be under Mr. Austin's analysis on a daily basis. God bless him. And on Ekweremadu, my heart really goes out to him. I didn't know him personally, but my heart goes out to him because no one would want to see his father, would like to see his father or his parent being jailed on such accounts. God be with him. And on the artwork innovation, to me, is a misplaced priority. Misplaced priority of the highest order. Is it that the furnitures they are no longer good? Is it that the walls are cracking, that they are now renovated? Do you know how much billions that the renovation is going to go? It's a misplaced priority. God bless Mr. Austin. Thank you very much.
All right. Misplaced priority. Awesome. Okay. 0705 5949. We'll take a couple of more calls before we wrap things up. 0809 7949. Reports from the Nation newspaper says that the federal government has successfully evacuated all Nigerians stranded in Khartoum. That's according to the official. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Amata Eluarutin. I'm alone from Bodija.
All right.
But you mentioned about cancer and erectile dysfunction. So why does my comment look funny?
I never said that your comment looked funny. I never said that.
So, Ekweremadu too, you shouldn't expect any mercy. But there can be a relation between the government and and my government, between this government and my government for it to be released, because economics is the rule of the day in the modern world. They can form an agreement. That's the only way a Kirimabu can be freed. That was my contribution.
All right. So once again, I never said your comment looks funny. The comment on Facebook wasn't clear, and that was the issue. I didn't understand what you wrote. That's the issue there. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Olu from America. I want to correct something about all that we have been saying about our judiciary. You see, we make our judiciary look as if they are not working. I think I have to disagree. Most of the time, the problem of the judiciary stems from the way our law enforcement agents conduct their investigations. It's only the evidences that they present before the judiciary that they will work on. But we make it look as if the judiciary are not working out, that they are that corrupt. No, I disagree. Good morning.
Okay. 0705 500949 0809 700949. Austin, you want to react to anything?
Yes, the judiciary can work better, but at some point too, they also fail the people in so many occasions that we might not be able to delve into. Somebody said we rely on baseless allegation. And the story of Sheyi Tinubu was reported by Bloomberg. It's a reputable media outfit. So it's not an unfounded story. That story actually existed. But because Sheyi Tinubu is the son of Mr. President, because that property was under receivership, which means Sheyi Tinubu was not guilty at all. You understand? But because he's now the son of the president, that is why we talk about it. Receivership means that if that property were to be under forfeiture, how come it was sold off? After all, the president's son did not buy it by force. It was offered for sale before it was bought. But the point we are making is that there have been too many allegations of property by proxy being linked to the president-elect and his associates. You can't just ask us to throw all of this away. In my commentary, I did say all of this cannot affect his chances of being sworn in or of becoming the eventual president of the country. But a lot of things are involved. The president or his people can also come out to clear hair on some of these issues.
All right, your reaction to the, of course, news out of Sudan?
Yes, it's a good one that has been concluded. We need to also learn from that. We must make a wide the sun shine. So the federal government must be proactive like never before. So we say kudos to all that have been involved: APs, federal government, diaspora commission, everyone. We say thank you to them and we say kudos to them.
Okay, we'll take some more calls. 0705 500949 0809 700949. Those are the numbers to call this morning. Back to Facebook. We have this one. Hello? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, do try and call back. 0705 500949 0809 700949. Those are the numbers to call to share your reactions on the to the stories this morning before we go. Hello? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kenny.
Good morning, yeah.
Please let Mr. Tony respond to Timothy Adegoke person's case.
0705 500949 0809 700949. Those are the numbers. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Yes, I'm speaking from Awe.
All right.
My name is Sonny.
Go ahead.
See, what happened to Kirimabi is a very, very good lesson to other people in this country. They should not take the whites for granted. They are not like we Nigerians. If it was in Nigeria, it would, that case would have been swept under the carpet. I'm so much happy about what has really happened to Keremadu. Please, other leaders should learn lesson. Thank you.
All right, Austin, you want to react to?
Yes, on the Timothy Agegoke and Adedoyin Ramon's case, judgment has been reserved for that particular case, which means that all the play have been adopted, all the witnesses and what have you. So it's just for the judgment to be given. So a date will be fixed for that to happen. Contrary to the insinuation by some people, Adedoyin may not get off that particular hook. Of course, I said judgment has been reserved, so I can't give judgment because I am not a judge. You understand? But the truth of the matter is that the case has gone beyond what people think. That they will just get away with it. Don't forget that was not the only case in that particular hotel.
Right.
There have been cases before then. This one busted, it escalated. The case is serious as I speak to you now. So let's see what the judgment will look like. But the idea of saying that people will surely get away with it, I think for some time it's looking as if it's no longer going to be business as usual.
All right, thank you very much for joining us on the Break It Dawn pay-per-view this morning. My name is Kenny Duratilu. The Break It Dawn will be back on Monday.